Before we start the podcast, I just wanted to thank some of our sponsors. The first sponsor I wanted to thank was GK Calls, a 100% Michigan-based company. GK has built a reputation for delivering customer service that is second to none with their lifetime no-hassle warranty on all of their products. They are here to fulfill the needs of their customers. Their customer service has been the backbone of their company from the initial roots and will continue to be the cornerstone of the company. So make sure to reach out to GK and look at all their calls with the new call from this year, the Rumbler. Our next sponsor I'd like to thank is Migra Ammunition, bringing you the most diverse load on the market. Migra patent stack load technology is the epitome of the efficiency. Two birds with one stone. One thing I want to bring up with Migra Ammunition, stack load, everybody we give the load to absolutely talks about how much it smacks birds down. Less cripples, more ethical shots, and especially with their turkey load that just came out last year. Look for Migra Ammunitions that are in the store near you with Cabela's, Bass Pro Shop, and others.
We'd also like to thank Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association, dedicated to the promotion and preservation of waterfowling in southeast Michigan. Getting the youth involved in waterfowling is what they do best. They also got an event coming up March 1st. Check them out.
The next sponsor of the podcast is Gator Decoys. Gator Decoys is offering a state-of-the-art Mojo and Lucky Duck compatible motorized decoy pole. It has sizes ranging from 24 to 40 inches or 48 to 96 to get that extra leverage. It also comes with this state-of-the-art auger bit. So it's an auger bit that drills even into frozen ground to keep your Mojo spinning. Again, that's Gator Decoys.
We'd like to thank Point Malay Waterfowl Festival, proudly giving back to conservation. It's a family-friendly event with lots of activities to partake in and is your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Come check out this event September 13th and 14th, 2025.
And for our last sponsor,
Flipping Birds Apparel Company. Snow Goose apparel, thoughtfully designed and created for hunters by hunters. Rep your obsession.
and I just wanted to say thank you again to all of our sponsors, and I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Great Lakes Outdoors podcast. Alyx and I are sitting here in the booth with Chris, our new Jamie, I guess is what he calls himself nowadays.
You'd be better than Jamie.
Just paid a lot less than Jamie.
Paid in aluminum.
Yeah, paid in aluminum cans, 10-cent cans. It just is what it is. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. I know we've been slacking a little bit. Last 2 weeks we've been on it with Jeff Foyles and the Wader Gang came on. And like we said in the last two, I guess, I'm excited to keep on picking this thing back up and rolling with it. And we also got a bunch of new stuff coming out with the videoing aspect of it all and different platforms that we're going to be reaching, just so everybody knows about that. But without getting too carried away, I want to introduce our guest this week. It is Johnny from Tagged and Bagged Outdoors. Johnny, what is going on, man?
Not much, brother. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man. I've been seeing your stuff pop up all over social media and have some guys like Fonzie and you were just talking about that. You guys talked, what was it, last year you said, and then have some guys over here that were buying your stuff. And I was like, well, I might as well reach out to these guys and see if they wanted to jump on for a podcast and maybe some more down the road. So.
Heck yeah, man. No, I appreciate it. And it was cool meeting some of you guys. And yeah, no, I think it's going to be a fun one.
I hope so. I mean, we have high expectations at the beginning. What we feel like at the end of it, I don't know.
I have the highest expectations for this podcast.
No,
because you're from Wisconsin.
It should be good.
God, yeah.
You kind of want to just tell everybody who is Johnny from Tagged and Bagged Outdoors?
Well, yeah, I am the owner of Tagged and Bagged, co-owner with Mitchell, my partner. And I'm an avid duck hunter, and I saw a problem, and I needed to make a solution for it. So I came out with Tagged and Bagged. So it's kind of my start on things.
Now, what is your solution behind it all? What's your product, I guess?
Yeah, so we just do pre-taxidermy packaging for waterfowl. So it's basically taking your bird from the field into the freezer and then into the taking it to the taxidermist. So we do everything with just prepping your bird properly to make sure it doesn't get damaged while you're traveling. You know, if you're out of state, traveling back home, or if you're just, going to throw it in the freezer for 2 to 3 years, it's a good way to preserve it properly and make sure it doesn't get all freezer burnt and messed up.
That kind of brings me to a question at first right there, without getting too carried away already. Going over state lines with this avian bird flu going on, how hard is that for the bag or the company itself? Because I feel like with this avian bird flu, I mean, yeah, you're keeping the whole bird, but I think some state lines, I believe you can't bring like the breast back, I believe it is, or something. Or like you could bring the breast back, but it's something weird. Have you ran into any problems with that?
So I have not ran into any problems. I was actually just out on Vancouver Island, up in Canada, British Columbia. We drove there. It was a 36-hour drive.
Wow.
It was nuts. But yeah, we came across from Canada into America, and that was tough, man. We had to fight for our birds.
Yeah, it's weird because it depends. Like 2 years ago when I was over just across Lake Erie from us, hunting, you could run into some border patrol that's super cool, don't know anything, and then some that are just like still don't know nothing, but then they go above and beyond, and it's just like, okay, what is going on? Some of them you got to leave one wing attached. Some of them they don't want it. It's like, okay, let's figure it out and have all the same game plan going on.
Right.
Here.
Yeah, man, it was just crazy. At first, they told us we couldn't have any of our ducks, so we had to throw them away. And I was like, bro, like I shot a Harley Quinn. We had a barrel eye, and like I was like, there's no way, like I'm going to figure out a way to get it across. But they ended up letting us across because they slipped up and had the wrong details that they wrote down in all their papers, all their forms and stuff. It said in there that the avian flu wasn't going on right there, then and there, So they haven't updated it. So that's how we snuck it by.
Well, I'm glad you weren't keystering it instead.
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah, right. No, man, I would have, man. I don't give a.
He'd be in Pampers by the time you're 30.
Yeah, it was a long drive for one bird.
That's crazy though, Harlequin. I mean, yeah, I would be fighting tooth and nail for that one.
Yeah,
just alone that bird right there.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The avian bird flu, I feel like has really popped back up recently for us around here. I don't know how it is there, and I was just kind of curious on, what that does for, carrying across state lines and keeping your bird preserved in that bag. If you ran into any problems with that, that's all.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I would say state-wise, I haven't had an issue, but, it might happen sooner than later, so.
Are you from the Madison area, Johnny?
I am like about an hour and a half away from Madison, so just like West Bend area.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep.
So did you grew up hunting? I mean, early age, you grew up hunting?
Yeah. We grew up hunting. My dad used to take us out, and my dad didn't have much knowledge on duck hunting, so it was a lot of jump shooting because we could never get him to decoy. Mm-hmm. And man, it's so sweet jump shooting. I don't know, I just love it, man. You sneaking up on them and crawling around, and that's my love.
It's very organic.
Yeah, it's kind of like it takes you back into time,
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's almost one of those things where if you started off that way, it kind of brings you back to the good old days. But if you didn't start that way, it's like
you didn't start that way.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, sneaking up like on a snow goose feed or something like that would be insane.
I've done that. That is like insane. It's so loud. It's so loud.
That's gotta be insane.
It's so loud you can't even hear yourself think, man.
Well, then you're crazy. I see guys with like 2 guns like sneaking up a hill or something, and then next thing you know, there's just hundreds of birds dropping out of the sky, and it's like, what in the world is going on right now?
Yeah, it's awesome.
So what kind of made you come up with the idea for your product? Like what was like a eye-opening experience, I guess, where you're like, well, this could be something in the future?
Yeah, man. No, I was taking 2 new guys out duck hunting, my buddy John and my buddy Laredo, and we went out duck hunting. It was their first time ever, and it was a ice hunt. So we were late season. We were breaking ice. It was just so sick. We had some big fat mallards coming in, and they both ended up shooting their first birds. And then, I'm like, oh man, that's sweet. And they're like, yeah, we want to get them mounted. And then I get back to the cabin And I'm like, okay, I got to have some freezer bags here. And I'm like, man, how do you actually prep one? So I looked up a video, and it showed how to do it. It was actually by Bird Zone. They do a phenomenal video on it. And I was like, man, well, that's sweet. Well, I didn't have any of the materials. I had tiny little freaking Ziploc bags and stuff. So I ended up throwing them in the freezer. And my one buddy didn't get his mounted for 2 years. And he took it to the taxidermist, and they turned him down. They said, no, this bird is so freezer burnt.
That makes sense. I mean, I feel like a lot of people just do that. I mean, for me, honestly, I throw them in a paper bag, or not a paper bag, but like just a trash bag and just throw them in there. But yeah, I could see it for, I mean, how many guys that, Fonz, have you talked to, or Chris, that you've talked to that have birds that have been sitting in the freezer for 2-3 years, and they're like, yeah, I'll get to it when I get to it.
I got one kid on the top of my mind. He's had a bird in his freezer for like 6 years.
Yeah,
and I think he's just keeping it in there and letting it roost. But
I'm gonna guess it's one, not bringing any other birds into the area, like not to roost there, and it's probably gonna be screwed for mounting purposes.
Oh, it's done. It's definitely done. Yeah. So was there, Johnny? Was there anything like your product on the market yet, or to date? Anybody else, or?
So. No, there's nobody else on the market right now that sells any type of pre-taxidermy kits. We do know of some guys that want to end up starting one. We do hear some people talk about it, and you know what? I totally think it's awesome, man. Like, I'm all about people trying to start their own thing, trying to do something, making a difference. So to me, it doesn't matter, you know. I love it. I love what we do. I love the difference it makes. And if other people want to do the same thing, I'm totally cool with that too.
Oh, right on. It's a good attitude to have.
I almost just think it's like one of those things for us, even where just the people that you get to meet on the road that you're on with the product, or like with the podcast or the shirts that we're selling or whatever it may be, that's worth it just in itself, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
And to meet other like-minded people that want to make a difference, that want to make sure that no birds getting wasted out there. I feel like that's the end goal for everybody at the end of the day.
Right.
Yeah, man. And how I always explain it is, you know, you get a once-in-a-lifetime bird. Why would you skimp out on the most important part, you know, preserving it, you know? And, like, you might never, ever get a chance at another bird like you got, you know what I mean? So, right. I mean, what's $25 when you're paying $500, $600, $700 for a mount?
Right. Yeah, you want to make sure that bird's pristine on when you put it in or when you give it to that taxidermist.
Yeah, for sure.
So you have different sizes, obviously, of the bags, right? So how big is your biggest bag, would you say?
So our biggest bag, dude, I call it the body bag. Man, I'm telling you what, man, it is freaking huge. We have had guys put swans in it and turkeys, and that is our goose kit. So it will work on bigger birds. We made it that way so it can be versatile.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's freaking sweet, man, seeing a big swan in there.
That's I bet, man. Those are people. Can you pack two or just one in there?
So we have everything. So we have it so that you can only pack one bird in there right now, but you could squeeze another one in there. You just have to find some other materials. We're working on kits that do work for like 3 birds at a crack.
Okay.
Now, what makes your bags different than just a regular trash bag? What makes it more like what is in your kit that helps people preserve their birds in the freezer?
Yeah, man, no, great question. So the biggest thing about our freezer bags is they are custom sized. You know, you're never going to find a freezer bag that's as big as what we have for our goose kit. And then along with that, it's 3 times thicker than a regular freezer bag, than your average freezer bag, you know? So just that thickness is going to help, you know, hold out as much freezer burn. Like if you got it tight in the corner of your freezer against the wall of your freezer, you know how it gets all that frost buildup? Mm-hmm. You know, it can really attack that bird. So it's just that extra durability and protection. And then like our towelettes, like some guys like to use, napkins or, you know, whatever else, you know, kind of like that kind of stuff, paper towel. And the thing is like the paper towels, like compared to our towelettes, and we've tested this because we were going to start with paper towel, is that paper towel will actually disintegrate and then kind of fall apart onto the bird's foot. So when you take it out and you actually take it to the taxidermist, when they're pulling it off, some of those pieces like to stick and take away that color. Mm-hmm. And so that's just kind of a part of it. And then, like the biggest thing about our stuff is we have tested it. Like even the zip lock at the top of the bag, we went through 150 different bags to find the best one that actually like opened and closed nice.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Like we spent a year of just like straight research on bags.
That's awesome.
Now, how long? Now, in comparison, I'm sure if you spend a year on just the zipper or like the I guess the zipper part of the bag, the Ziploc part, how long compared to a regular Ziploc bag to your bag would a bird last? Like in comparison, like I'm trying to.
So I would say, you know what? It all depends on your freezer, but I would definitely say that if you use our kit compared to just throwing it in a bag and tossing it in there, I truly believe, and we have a bird in there right now for 3 years.
Wow. And
we take it to my taxidermist every 6 months. And he said, dude, it looks really good compared to a lot of the birds I get in. That's the biggest thing about taxidermists. They get birds in trash bags. That's how he did it, and Walmart bags. And, if you leave them in there for a year like that, they just get freezer burnt to hell.
No, that's pretty incredible, honestly.
Yeah.
And what's awesome is you got the research to back everything up, because a lot of people are going to be like, well, why am I going to buy a $25 bag or whatever you're selling it for, and compared to just a regular trash bag, you just throw it in there and whatever. But if you got the research behind that, I mean, that's good business for sure.
Yeah, and my biggest thing too, man, is we created the product to be super convenient. So when you're out there with the boys, you get done with hunting, you don't want to sit there and mess around with a bird. You just want to toss it in the bag, toss it in the freezer. You know what I mean? It's been a long day. So we made it super simple. We could have went way more complex with it, but we chose simple but efficient.
Yep.
And dude, it's been really cool. We've had little kids using them, just younger kids, 10, 11, 12-year-olds, their first birds. And man, to see that and they're able to use it, that makes my world,
Yeah, and to be just a part of something in their process of shooting their first bird is pretty cool.
Here it is, dude. I found it. Fish. You ever look into something with fish with taxidermy wise?
All right, brother. We are coming out with one by April.
I want to. Okay, that's good, man. Listen, man. I tell Fonz all the time, I'm smarter than I look, man, and I'm smarter than I sound half the time.
Yeah, were you looking at my notes in my phone?
Yeah, no
what?
kidding, no kidding. I was sneaking up on you.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome, because I feel like that's almost one of the hardest things to keep and to preserve is fish.
Yep, it is pretty difficult, and there is a certain way to do it. And it's been a grind. I mean, talking to taxidermists, because they have received fish in so many different ways.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean,
what do you even do for fish? I don't even know. I have no idea.
I think it depends on what you want for the mount itself, because there's a lot of people I feel like do the painted almost.
Yep.
But then some of them skin them and then mount them onto a foam.
Really?
I could be wrong, but I think that's kind of the two ways that you could get a fish done, like a replica.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yep. Shit. And a lot of people are starting to do replicas too. But for the guy like me, if I catch a bluegill, that's 12-inch bluegill, like a Mondo, I'm going to throw it in the freezer. I'm going to get that sucker mounted. So.
Yeah.
Get a whole stringer of them bad boys. That'd be a sweet mount.
That actually
stringer.
would be.
That'd be
dude.
A guy I know up in Sturgeon Bay, where you know where that's at, Johnny.
Yep.
He's got a stringer of jumbo perch mounted.
That'd be sick.
He's got 11 or 12 of them. It's pretty cool.
That's gonna be
I'm so jealous.
Bobby Hank, his name is.
That's gonna be so expensive though.
Oh, I bet. How do you even preserve a fish?
Well, so the biggest thing we found out was you got to use borax. So when you take the fish, you got to put borax on it, and then you got to basically just freeze a towel around it. So you wet soak a towel soaking wet and wrap the fish. That way it kind of gives it that extra support.
I gotcha.
And I've seen guys too, especially with the muskies wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a special fish.
Just measuring them out and getting replicas that way too. Obviously,
Yep.
I'm not saying it to where
Yeah.
getting away from your product, Johnny. I'm just saying, people are just
With the
doing it that
muskies
way.
especially, yeah.
Right, because they can't.
Dude, I am totally cool with that with muskies, even walleyes. Like if a guy were to release one, I just know it's a little bit more expensive to get it, and that might sway people away from getting an artificial one.
Right.
But it is what it is, and like I'm all about fish getting released and repopulating, so I'm all cool with that.
Now, okay, let me ask you this question, man. I got a debate for you here. Oh, I guess it's for all four of us here.
Let's hear it, Kyle.
You ready, Chris? You got a 29-inch spring walleye full of eggs. 9.25 in weight. She's got half of her teeth missing. Are you keeping that fish or no?
Oh shit. Man, my
Nine-
biggest
nine and
thing
a
though,
quarter,
my
nine and a
biggest
quarter.
thing, I think it would have to break that 30 mark.
Okay, I'll make it better then. She's 31, full of eggs, 11.5 pounds. Are you keeping that fish?
Oh man, you might hate me for it, but dude, I would definitely contemplate.
Yeah, I think I'd keep it. There's so many
Yeah.
females in the river.
For me,
I mean, like,
One female,
Chris, what is your take on
but
that?
it's also like. Go ahead.
It depends if I'm fishing a tournament or something. Like
gotcha.
at like Point Malay or whatever.
So
For
this-
me, I don't fish as much, so I would be like, that's probably the biggest fucking wall I'm ever going to catch. And
even if you do fish
Yeah.
a lot, that's probably one of the biggest walleyes you'll ever catch.
that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
for me, like a guy that don't fish a lot,
Oh yeah,
I'm going to keep it. But you fish a fuck ton. You fish a lot more than I have. So you see it different.
the way that I see it, and I could be wrong on this, but that's an old female, right? She's that big. She's been around the block a time or two. Is she that fertile to lay eggs and then become actual little walleye, or is the 2.5 pounder full of eggs more fertile than that?
That's a good question. I'd
That is
probably
a
say
really
the
good
2-year-old.
question.
That's my whole take on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a biologist by any means, but people always talk about throwing those big females back, but then they're keeping the small ones. Well, wait a minute. The older women usually aren't that fertile compared to the young, so you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what
in
you're
That's
saying.
a
reality,
really good point.
That's my take on it all.
100%. I'd keep it.
Makes you think. That's
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
I would 100%.
Missing half her teeth, like that's kind of cool.
No, the 31's
Yeah.
got all of her teeth.
Oh,
Just a 9.25.
maybe a couple jibs missing on the
Yeah,
bottom, like
maybe
maybe
a
like she
couple.
got into a fight or something.
Bit it in a snail or something. I don't know.
Yeah, snail trail.
But no, that's my take on that one though. With the fish wise,
A little off-
Yeah, no, I
little
hear
off
you, man.
topic.
I don't know. But
We're riding the road right now.
my next question for you: who do you sell more to? Taxidermists themselves for keeping other people's product in bags, or actual hunters that are keeping their birds at home for X amount of years?
Actually, that's a good question. I would say less taxidermists. The taxidermists promote it a ton, but the guides and the average hunter are our best sellers too.
Because I feel like a lot of the taxidermists, if they're smart, because I mean, sometimes they don't get around to the birds until a year or two, so it might be a good idea for them. I'm not saying that they don't know how to preserve a bird, because a lot of them, that's their life. That's what they make a living off of, so they know a thing about a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it could go both ways.
Yeah, no. So like taxidermists, they kind of want to like promote it. That way guys get it and use it before they get there.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times when they see their clients, they're not actually going to see them until they drop off the bird. So then it's too late. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So if any,
So they,
oh no, go ahead. You're good.
Yeah, so like a lot of our taxidermists actually refer their guides to us. So then we go ahead and talk to the guides. We're like, hey, Leonard from, Full Choke Taxidermy. He's like, yeah, go. He said, you got to get a bunch of these kits. So then, we talk to them and they order a bunch, and then all their clients bring the birds to Leonard, and it's all good.
That's awesome. So you've had outfitters buy like in kind of like mass quantity and keep it like in their inventory?
Yeah, man, we've been
That's
really
awesome.
blessed, and it's just so cool working with those guys. We actually worked with Gatlin Guides down in Texas, and they invited us down on a whole weekend trip to go hunting with them, and we ended up shooting 52 birds the first day. It was wicked.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Especially for an
And
old
that's what it's
Wisco
all
boy to
about
go
for
down to
us.
Texas, huh?
What's that?
An old Wisco boy to go down to Texas.
I know, right?
Dude, I don't know what it is, but all the kids that I met there, they never leave Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's kind of like downriver here.
Yeah, I mean, like they don't they don't even want to go anywhere. They just
Oh.
love Wisconsin. I mean, Wisconsin's awesome. I got a 262 number like you on my work phone. I work from
Heck yeah.
Milwaukee. I don't know if you remember me telling you that.
I feel like I do, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome though, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, man.
That's probably
it's just been so cool, like talking to everybody. And like, my biggest thing is I'm not a sales guy. I just love having conversations and building relationships. So, I could give a shit if a guide wants my product or, the average customer does. But you know what? I love hearing hunting stories and I love to hear other people's stories. So it's been so cool to do that.
You're in the right business, son.
Yeah, man.
What kind of shows are you going to?
So currently we are actually leaving in 2 days for Pennsylvania. So we're going to do the big show out in Harrisburg, their big sportsman show. And then we are going to be at the Green Bay show again. And then we are going to go to the Ducks Unlimited. I think it's in Tennessee this year.
Is it Tennessee?
Is it Memphis?
Isn't that Tennessee?
It might be. And then we're doing Squad Fest. And then we're also going to do the Delta Waterfowl.
Where's
And then
that?
the Wisconsin Waterfowl.
Where's Delta at this year? Is that Baton Rouge again or no?
OKC, Oklahoma.
Oh, okay. It was in Baton Rouge last year, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's what
Yep.
it was.
So, yeah, we're going to be traveling quite a bit.
Good old Oshkosh on your list?
Yep. Oh, God, yeah. I love Oshkosh, man. It's a great show. It's really getting good.
It is, man. Was it better? I didn't go this past year. Was it pretty good?
Oh, my God. From the year before that, it
No
was
shit.
freaking huge.
I was telling Kyle like how they had like Lucky Duck had a full. The year I went wasn't last year, but the year before, how they had a full display of their new ice eater. They had a full swimming pool and everything. Yeah, I mean they really go big at that show. That's a hell of a show.
Yeah, they're sold out so freaking fast, man. It was one day, and now they're extending it, I think, 2 or 3 days this year.
I think it's so crazy how it sells out.
Well, that's
It's like a fucking concert.
when I was reaching out to a lot of these companies about jumping on the podcast. The guy from I'm drawing a blank on it. The duck decoy. The motion duck decoys.
Oh, Motion Duck.
He actually runs Oshkosh.
Oh yeah, you were telling me that yesterday.
So
Yep.
there might be a possibility of us running down there and setting up a podcast booth. But I guess a reason why I was kind of bringing that up was we have a show here, if you guys would be interested as well, at Point Moulet. We're starting to build that up and get that bigger. I'm not saying it's going to be no DU down in OKC, but it obviously would be very nice to see you guys come into town and spend a weekend with you over here.
Dude, that'd be a freaking blast. You got to send me the info on it.
Yeah, I definitely will. I think, Chris, we just came out with the dates on that.
Yeah, September 13th and 14th.
Yeah, that's Chris's
You guys
gig.
run it?
What's that?
You guys run it?
So we help out quite a bit with it. We got Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association that we're a part of as well. That does a big helping hand with that. And then Point Moulet itself, Bob Whitwam, his dad Dick Whitwam, they run it. They started it 77 years ago now.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been going on for a while. COVID hit, it kind of started going downhill, and then we're trying to build it up, piece by piece and vendor by vendor, and get some, good guys in there and good products in there. So again, yeah, if you were interested in that, I could definitely get you that info and
Yeah, Johnny, it's actually a state game area.
yeah.
It's one of the biggest in the nation, I believe, from what I read. It's a huge state game area. It's got a lot of history. And they've been doing this festival. So what's it going to be, Chris?
77 years.
77 years.
Man, are you deaf?
Huh? Did you say that?
Yeah. Yeah, I said that.
77 years, you said?
What are you, a mockingbird?
Yeah, it must be. It must be a fucking parrot. Cockatoo. But yeah, it's a huge. We're really trying to bring it back. How many vendors did we have last year?
I think easily over 150. I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Very close there, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Which could-
dang,
and
yeah,
the
send me
first
the link
booth is
for it.
free,
We'll
too,
sign
so.
up.
Yeah, it's a pretty waterfowl rich area here where
Yeah.
we live. We're right on the coast of Lake Erie and the Detroit River, so
Yeah, I mean, you could see Lake Erie, but like what Chris was saying, the first booth is free, so you get a free booth. And then the second booth is what, $75 or whatever
Yeah,
it is. So
$75.
it's like literally nothing. And
Dang,
then,
that's a really good deal.
yeah, and we have a little party up here at the podcast studio, and it's actually during our early season goose. So if we plan it right, we could maybe get a few days of some goose hunting in too while you're over here.
yeah.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Oh yeah, you'll like it a lot, Johnny.
Oh man, that'd be freaking sweet. Yeah, you'll definitely have to let me know. Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for this next year too coming up, man. It was so cool to see all the people, just meeting them through the expos and stuff. It is crazy how many people you meet and all the connections you make, and then you forget a lot about them, and then they come back around.
Yeah, because you meet so many people and you talk to so many people about the same things, and then it kind of sometimes turns into a blur.
Man, the stories that you hear from all these guys, and like my favorite is, they call it the good old days, and Tony Vandemore calls it the good old days are now. But hearing the stories from back then and how they used to do it, and we got a whole decoy tent set up there, so seeing all the old hand carved decoys, the foam decoys, and just knowing the history even behind those, or how many birds have died over top of them decoys. I mean, that's the stuff that interests like the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Yep, that is crazy.
The layout boat was invented here.
Yeah, telling him about like the sneak boat competition and the layout boat and stuff like that.
Yeah, so the layout boat was created here by a guy named Kailash.
Johnny Kailash.
Johnny Kailash created the first layout boat.
You got me all right, Johnny?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Yeah, he created the first layout boat, and there's so we do like what is it, Chris? Like a duck hunters competition. Right?
It's like the Michigan Duck Hunters tournament.
It's at the festival.
Yeah.
It's the last day, and there's 3 or 4 events.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I think there's 3 events.
Yep.
So they have like the skeet shooting, which is like simulating duck hunting,
Yep.
and then
From
from
a layout boat.
a layout boat, and then they have where you're in a blind shooting skeet, and then what was the other one?
They
Oh,
have,
the sneak boat.
Sneak boat, where you get to sneak up on, like you would if you were kind of sneak hunting. You would sneak, and then they'd throw clay, and you got to shoot it, and you got to sneak in, and it's kind of like how stealthily you do it. Do you leave a ton of ripples when you push off?
Dang.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's all
old school
Dude,
stuff. It's almost
that
like back,
sounds like so much fun.
man, it is, and I think people either don't know or we're just kind of underestimate. We're a very waterfall rich area over here.
And when the heck is that? Is that the same time as that expo?
Yeah, it's the same time as the show.
It's actually
Yep.
during the expo, yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm totally bringing extra people. I'm gonna do that.
Dude, if you win like this.
You win a whole layout boat.
Yeah, you win a whole like
Come on.
$2,000 layout boat, and then you win like a trophy that says like, what is it, Michigan Duck Hunter?
Yeah, Michigan Duck Hunters tournament.
Yeah.
Trophy or whatever.
Yep.
Dang,
Grand prize
dude,
or
that'd be
whatever.
freaking nuts.
It's not bad, man.
Then we have the layout shoot as well on
Oh, dang.
Saturday.
Yeah, and then there's a
Or-
whole separate layout shoot for another prize.
It's just nice to be able to get, the outside perspective, like different states and stuff, like with you knowing about it now, being able to reach different places, like, people don't know how good it is here and how good it used to be, and trying to build that back up. I don't know. It's just
Keep the
something,
heritage alive.
It hits home, I guess.
It does big time for us. We're like, you Wisconsin boys are the same way. You guys take pride in where you're from, especially,
Yep.
you know what I mean? And that's what we're trying to do here and keep the heritage alive and keep that show alive. And yeah, we really, all 3 of us, man, we busted our ass last year, and we got, what was it, the most attendance they've had in how many years?
Oh, for a while.
Like so I thought it was like 20 years or something is the most people that have attended.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was
That is
cool to
so
see it
freaking cool.
back up and alive again,
Dude, that is so cool, to be able to, revive that.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet, man.
because I know how much time it takes, and like, you know, somewhat, you know, on how hard it is to like regrow something that wasn't there, you know, starting to fade out. Like, it's hard to bring something back.
Yeah.
And to be a part of that, I feel like is one of the most, I don't know, successful feelings that you could have. Like, just being a part of it, your name was kind of stamped in the beginning where it was like reborn, and I don't know. It's just like I said, something special.
Yeah.
We'll definitely get you those dates for that, though.
So cool, man. I would love to sit down with you guys over a few Bush lattes and hang out.
A dangerous night.
We got yeah, it'll be a dangerous night. His sister lives right on the river, so we take the boats and sometimes go out for a little night rip.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
That'll be sick.
But coming back to it, Drop 'em Outdoors as well.
Yep.
You are a co-owner of that?
I'm the owner of it. I do have Keegan who helps me. He's part owner, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, no, pretty much I run that whole thing. It started off with another partner, and then he got busy with life, and I was just kind of the one who kept chugging on, you know.
Now, what is Drop 'em Outdoors?
So Drop 'em Outdoors, we just do a lot of different merchandise, and we sell merchandise, and then we shoot a bunch of videos and do a bunch of edits and just film a bunch of content. So we do a lot of content creation, and then this last year, I really got kind of touched by, you know, seeing some of the, you know, like Make-A-Wish stuff and stuff like that. So I actually started my own little thing with hunting and fishing. So
that's awesome.
Now we fundraise for kids, you know, that might have cancer, you know, other problems, and, you know, we give them their absolute dream hunt or fishing trip.
That's awesome. That's able to give back,
dude. That's awesome.
Man,
that's awesome. That's what this shit is all about.
Yeah, it melts your heart, brother, because, like, you look at life and, you know, you think you got it rough, and then you hear somebody else's story and you're like, man, I ain't got nothing wrong with my life.
Yeah.
Like, I am so blessed. And, like, you know, to be able to make somebody else smile is so much more empowering than, you know, making yourself smile.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, it's I don't know. It's something special for sure. And to, like me and you, Fonz, talk about it, and Chris talk about it all the time, and my dad, like people that go out and bird hunt with us out in the fields wise. Sorry, I was looking at your hoodie, like your shirts here, and I was getting all sidetracked there for a second. But you know, people that we take out on the field hunts, we don't really water hunt much. We just mainly field hunt like geese and, you know, the field mallards and whatnot. But, you know, these guys get upset. We shoot 5 geese or whatever, or we shoot a goose or 2 and don't see that many, or they weren't decoying right. It's like, how are you getting upset when you're fortunate enough to, 1, sit in a permanent blind out there, 2, just to be out in a private field and get invited on a hunt like that, but you're still getting upset about that kind of stuff. I know it's a complete different realm of giving back, obviously, and I'm not trying to compare that.
No, you're good. I totally know what you're saying.
But it's just like people are so like
ungrateful.
Just blinded by like either social media or whatever they're seeing elsewhere, and not taking what is in front of them and being appreciative of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, dude, it's crazy. Like, some people get caught up in the, like, oh, we got to shoot limits. It's like, bro, just sit back and enjoy it. Like, I've had some of the best memories sitting there not shooting a damn thing. Right. You know, just hanging out with buddies, doing that kind of thing. And, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, in this, like, this platform, I guess, in itself, we always talk about it. It's always nice to be able to have like-minded people on here to show the younger crowd or the younger generation that's stepping up. Teach them to step up and see what hunting actually is, instead of just social media pile pictures or whatever it may be. I don't know.
See all the behind-the-scenes work that goes into it and all the camaraderie that's, you know, involves the sport.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's all about, man. And, like, that's the thing is people stop hunting, or they don't like it anymore. They think it's dumb because, you know, they don't shoot the limit every time, and they think that's the fun part. Like, that is not the fun part.
I think a lot of people, though, which I don't know. I get weird with these birds, man. I get anal with these birds.
What?
I don't do anal with the birds. I'm just saying I get anal with the birds. I get I like to dissect the birds and figure out exactly what they're doing.
Yep.
And it's just one of them things where I think a lot of people don't see how much work that goes into it. They see success from other people, and once they realize how much work that actually like you have to do to reach that point, like scouting every day or knocking on doors or keeping up with these farmers and you know, even in the off season, they're like, yeah, I'm good. I'm out of this thing. I don't want nothing more to do with it. They have a problem with another group that's hunting around them or whatever it may be, which in reality, why not just hunt together at the end of the day? Because, I mean, we've done that and we've made some of the best friends that we've had.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
We had a crazy hunt like that this last year. We had 3 different groups all scouting one massive feed of geese. And all 3 groups, we all dropped our egos and we all went out there and we shot a 20-man limit of geese in 45 minutes.
Dude, that is sick.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
One group could have totally went out there, 6 guys, and shot their limit. But instead, all of us dropped our egos.
Dude, unreal. I love hearing that kind of stuff. That's funny that you say that, because I always tell Kyle that's how it was when I hunted in Wisconsin last year, and I feel it. It was that same like group of people that you just explained. We would show up to that was it. We'd show up to a field, and I'm like, in my head, coming from where we're from, I'm telling the boys in the truck, like, hey, be ready to. If somebody swings, be ready to go. Like, we got to go, you know? And dude, we didn't run into one group, where we didn't hunt together, or we didn't. And we ended up becoming like really close friends and then hunting together every weekend. It was,
dude, that's freaking sweet.
So I don't know if that's just a Wisco thing or what, because around here where everyone's got kind of like their turf, I guess, so to speak, in a way.
I mean,
you know what? It depends on what part of Wisconsin, but like, you know what? I feel like for the most part, people are pretty easygoing as long as you're not trying to infringe on their hunting area.
Exactly.
I want to say something, but I'm not going to.
What?
I'll say it. Especially if you ain't running through the field, man.
Right?
You got some person running through the field. Fonzie's looking at me funny.
Me? Are you talking about me?
Yeah, I'm talking about you, Parrot.
Fuck you. Run it through the field. What do you mean?
Yeah, Hunter's Field.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. Gotta do what you gotta do, man. I didn't know.
It was funny, though, because Fonzie comes back. He talks about these Wesco guys and Wesco? How do you say that?
Wisco.
It's almost like Costco.
Wisco.
But he's talking about all those guys over there. And then I'm like, yeah, we don't really got to deal with that much over here. Come your turkey hunt. I pull up into the spot, and here comes a guy parked right behind me, doesn't get out of the truck and wants to be Billy Badass.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, puff up his chest a little bit. And it's like, well, I guess we do got that a little bit more than I thought around here.
There's a little bit more grit, I think. A little bit more fuck you around
just
the
feel like,
Detroit area.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? It's Detroit.
I feel like a lot of it, though, is you know, the solar fields and stuff coming in and the buildings coming around now, where the fields are getting less and less, so there's pressure that's kind of getting
condensed into one area.
Yeah,
yes,
so it's kind of one of them things where, you know, we just lost how many acres up north? I think it was like, what was it, Chris? 40,000 acres or something like that. Wild, like
holy
state
shit.
land.
Yeah,
in the UP.
Yep.
Like
40,000.
Yeah. And we just lost 1,000 acres next to where we hunt for solar fields, and it's, you know, again, it's just kind of condensing everything into one little area where people are going to start butting heads, and it's just not going to be pretty. Like, and on top of, you know, the DNR around here wanting to, up our prices on our tags and
license. Yep.
It's just, I don't know. It's a sad thing, and as crazy as it sounds, we can't even hunt coyotes year round.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that
that is the wildest shit I've ever heard.
They cut us down, I think, 3 or 4 months during the breeding season. And, you know, these people think that it's going to be A-okay and we can get it back like nobody's business, but it's going to be tough to get just a small sliver back like that. You know, it's going to take bits and pieces here and there, and it's just going to get harder and harder for everybody, and it's just going to get to the point where people don't want to deal with it anymore.
Yep.
And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, dude. Like even our like wolf population up north, and you guys know this with the UP, like it is so heavy. And we actually had a wolf season. I don't know if you heard about that.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we had this wolf season, and it was 1 week. And the DNR claimed there was only 1,000 wolves in the state of Wisconsin. They shot over 350 wolves in like 3 or 4 days. It was something crazy. And that was just what was registered.
That's insane. I know some boys up in Eagle River that wolf hunt. Or were part of that shit or did the wolf hunting. I talked to some old boys up there, some hockey guys, Eagle River. That's way up north, right? It's like 3-4 hours, I think, from Green Bay, from what I remember on the bus ride.
Yeah, it's a hike.
Yeah, and they had a wolf mount in the arena. And I was like, oh, that's pretty.
Dang.
Yeah, I was like, it's pretty freaking sick. And so I was talking to some old, I don't know if he's like a janitor guy or what, but yeah, he was telling me about that shit.
It's just
man.
G's up north, or like Michigan. Michigan's got that Wolverine mounted in there, and then G's up north, up in West Branch. You went to G's, didn't you?
Mm-mm.
Didn't you go there for lunch when we were out scouting, me and Corey, that one morning? You went there for lunch or something, or no?
Mm-mm. We went to Mama's Kitchen or whatever it's called.
Okay, so there's a place up north as soon as you walk
G's
in the
wasn't
door.
open.
Oh, okay, I got you. Because I think you guys were talking about that or something. As soon as you walk in, he's got like a 600-pound grizzly bear just sitting up there, like about to come out.
Really?
And then he's got a bunch of he's got like a Wolverine mount. He's got deer mounts and moose.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. I don't know. The wolves are kind of good and crazy though. We had that one kind of encounter last year downstate, out in the Kalamazoo area, where nobody knows where it's at still. Like nobody knows where it came from still. But even like in the UP for us, like the coming down through what am I thinking? Lake Superior, coming down state is just, I don't know. It's getting kind of crazy.
Yeah.
What was it? North Dakota just let a bunch of wolves go. Was it North Dakota?
Dude.
Was that North Dakota?
I know a few states out west have been doing it.
I know that.
What's that?
I think it was North
Yellowstone.
Dakota or Montana. They let like 12 go, and everybody.
I want to
was
say it was Montana.
Was it
I
Montana?
I know Montana for sure, and I thought Colorado too.
Colorado was the one I'm thinking of too. Yep. I know Colorado did for sure.
Colorado had wolves though. I think Montana didn't, and they wanted to
reintroduce them.
Yeah, and everybody
which is bullcrap.
Oh, you could say it. Yeah, it was bullshit. I mean, it was a nightmare for everybody that lived there. I think 3 or 4 of them are dead by the first week.
Really?
Oh yeah, people were killing them. They weren't happy about it all.
Well, and it's more than just the hunting shit, like the livestock. Like when they get out there and they actually start getting wild, and like they're gonna pick the easiest meal.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, they don't want to work hard.
Dude, do you know how many farmers I had calling me to come hunt coyotes because they're harassing their cows and shit? Just coyotes. Now you're taking an animal about 2 or 3 times the size.
Right.
That's crazy.
I just seen a wild video on Facebook today, actually, because I mean I had a busy day at work, but I seen this video, and this herd of cows or head of cattle, whatever you want to call it, cornered this coyote in the pen where it wouldn't let the coyote leave, and the coyote, like, it was all fenced in. It wasn't like your regular just cattle fencing.
Yeah.
It was like just graded almost.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they would not let this coyote leave. They would corner it and let it, like, the coyote would hunker down.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen nothing like that before.
That's crazy.
Because usually the cows are running away from the coyotes or whatever,
Yeah.
and then here comes the donkeys or whatever else to kill a coyote. But like
Yes.
it was bizarre. I've never seen a coyote cower down like that.
That's nuts.
That's crazy. I guess they're like in that same family with buffaloes and shit. They all kick. You know what I mean? I think if they feel like they have a chance, maybe they'll fucking team up.
I don't know. You ever hear that story with the buffalo and the cows in the storm?
No.
No.
They say buffaloes run towards the storm and the cows run away from the storms.
No, I've never heard that.
Really?
Really?
That's what.
Wait, no, I feel like I might have heard that.
Because the buffaloes will go through the storm and get done quicker, but the cows will prolong the storm because they're running with it.
Really?
So you want to be more of a buffalo than a cow. You want to head like at hard times or whatever. You want to go head on with the problem instead of running away.
Way
from
to motivate me tonight. I really appreciate
that.
That's
You
some
like
Indian
that?
shit. His dad's Native American heavy, so that's his dad's teachings. It's got to be.
Dang, dude, I'm gonna have to write that one down.
Redfoot Ray.
What's your Uncle Al call him? Blackfoot.
Blackfoot. Mr. Deeds. Isn't that Mr. Deeds, the old Blackfoot?
Yep.
Oh, that's some good stuff. You got any more questions, old Fonz?
No, man. It was really nice to talk to you, though. It's good to have a.
I feel like we should have another one of these.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be
Yeah, I'd be
good.
down, man. Absolutely.
You ever hunted up in Brussels or Sturge?
Nope. No, I haven't yet.
That was the area I used to run around last year quite a bit. That was where I was at.
Is that Central?
No, that's the finger off of Wisconsin.
Okay,
Bailey's
gotcha.
Harbor and
It's
that.
up by Sturgeon Bay and
Yeah,
stuff.
yep.
Yep, I know where that is now. Yeah, that's a good time up there.
Oh, dude. It's I don't know, it's beautiful. It's like one of the last remaining places that I've traveled the country quite a bit, and it's one of those last remaining places that's like still got its full blown. I mean, they're getting a lot of Chicago people, but roots for the people that grew up there.
What do you mean, Chicago people?
Yeah, man, it is pretty peaceful up there. It's beautiful.
Don't say that.
Chicago people?
Don't say that.
People from Illinois.
Yeah,
They'd be
don't
going
say
up there, the
the C
tourists
word.
and stuff.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Yeah, no, they're tourists moving in there and stuff.
I heard it was like Bangkok.
No, not like They do have the Hmong up there, they call it. The Hmong?
Was it a cult?
I believe it's a
yeah.
nationality. You know of the Hmong?
Oh man, oh my god, we used to make so much money. We'd go out rabbit
Sell
hunting,
fish.
do like a rabbit shoot, and just pound the hell out of them, and we'd sell our rabbits for $5 a piece.
Fish, too. They love carp.
Yep, they'll take the carp too, but they were like really picky. It had to be super fresh. Like we literally had to just catch it and drop it off at a parking lot.
They're almost like, I think they're Vietnamese people, if I'm
Dude,
right.
I think
Yeah,
there's
I'm not sure.
one around the Tecumseh area.
Really?
I shouldn't say that. That's not a bad one of them. There's
A guy that goes around and buys fish and rabbits.
Okay, no, that's not them. Then never mind.
Okay.
These
No,
guys.
I mean, they're pretty chill, nice people, but they do I shouldn't say all of them, but you catch a lot of them snagging walleyes in spring.
Okay, so they're kind of like my kinfolk, the Amish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Amish are cool around here, though.
A lot of Amish, too, in Wisconsin.
Yep, they make some good bakery, man. Let me tell you.
The Amish is good in Michigan, but well, to a point, because they still think the property is all theirs, so they'll just trespass and shoot whatever on most of the properties up north. But Pennsylvania Amish, where my aunt used to live out in Hershey, not good.
No?
No.
No, not good.
Like gang shit?
Oh yeah. You never heard of that?
No, I have. The Amish.
The Amish Mafia.
The Amish Mafia.
Yeah, dude, that was like where my aunt grew up, Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Calling hits from the fucking 2x6 box tower.
Well, I mean, throwing rocks or whatever they got to do, I guess.
Right.
No, but
Oh, man.
shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh no, out in Tecumseh, dude. I was driving out there. I was scouting,
Yeah.
and I went down this side road, and all of a sudden I see this big, like, just nothing but wood. Like there was a wood cemetery with like wooden crosses. All the buildings were made out of wood. The fencing was made out of wood. It was like a monk cult or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I've sped off, man. I didn't want nothing to do with it.
That's wild, dude.
Nobody was outside. Like it was weird, but there was a whole village.
Nobody was like, hey, white boy, come over here.
No. No, it wasn't like that, man.
That's wild.
We don't talk.
That would
like
scare the shit. That would scare the shit out of me.
I don't talk like that, man.
No?
On here, no.
White boy. They'd be calling you that.
Yeah, no. I don't know. I should probably stop right now while I'm ahead.
It was good to meet you, Johnny.
Chris, you got any questions, man?
No, come out to the festival though.
Yeah, I definitely want to. I just got to see what are the dates? Do you know yet or no?
Yeah, September 13th and 14th.
Like I said,
Okay.
it's during our early season, so we could probably make something work where we go out
Yeah.
for night hunt or
Yep, I
something.
just got to figure out because I got my fundraiser for my golf outing. So I got to figure out when the dates are for that.
Yeah, just get back to us. Let us know, man.
Yeah, you got
No
my
big
number.
deal.
You got my number.
Yeah, heck yeah. No, that'll be sweet. But I appreciate you guys having me on. And, it was a great time hanging out and talking with y'all. And, yeah, I'm excited to see where the future holds for both of our businesses and where things all end up.
Yeah, no, I greatly appreciate you spending some time, and I feel like I said before, we should definitely maybe do this a little bit more. I feel like there's a lot more of the shell to be cracked, I guess you want to say, more of some
Yeah.
storytelling and whatnot. But where can people find you at?
So you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, at Tagged and Bagged, and also TikTok. And then also you can find our website at taggedandbagged.com. So yeah, you can check us out there. And then my Drop 'em Outdoors, it's just Drop 'em Outdoors. You can search that anywhere and you'll find it too.
Awesome, man. Like I said, I greatly appreciate you spending the time with us tonight, and hopefully do it again soon with you.
Absolutely. Well, you take her easy, boys.
Yeah, you as well.
Take it easy, Johnny. Thank you.
John. Thanks again, and thanks again for everybody tuning in on this week's podcast. Stay tuned for next week. We'll see you guys.
Adios.